Hey, Coach, what do you got to do to avoid those kinds of starts? It seemed like that really set you back again today.
I actually thought, Matt, it's unbelievable. I thought offensively we played about perfect and still had that start.
Yeah.
You know, how many layups we missed, and probably missed 3 or 4 or 5 layups in that first bit that, could be 6 or 8 points. And, that's what I told our guys. Even though we probably deserved to be behind at halftime, that should have been a 2 or 4 point game. And, we just didn't convert. And I don't know if I've ever seen a team in one half have 2 uncontested layups with nobody around them and come away empty. So David had some opportunities early, big time opportunities, and we just didn't cash in on those. So you're right. The start puts you in a position where you're playing catch up and takes a lot of energy to play from behind. Although I did think we did some decent things first and second half offensively, but the start put us in a hole. But it wasn't really a start because we weren't ready to play. We got the ball exactly where we wanted to. We just didn't do anything with it.
Bill, are you encouraged because of the number of missed layups you had and the number of guarded tough shots they hit? Like, do you come out of this feeling decent about where you guys are?
I would say probably not, CJ. I don't feel very good about it because I think the bottom line, I just can't remember a time where since we've been here, and I'm sure it's happened, where other players had big games, but usually it's a Michael Beasley or an Arthur Johnson had like 38 on us one time, and they're throwing it inside and whipping our ass that way. But we usually don't have just guards go whip us, and that's what happened tonight with those two. I mean, they got 53. I think it may have been 54. I think it's 54. And McBride totally dominated the game. He was a first-team All-American tonight. The way he played, made every big shot, made all those free throws, and took care of the ball and had 8 assists and 3 steals and 7 rebounds. I mean, he was great. And, of course, Sherman had a big game. And we knew they were keys, looking back. Could we have gone triangle and 2? Yeah, we could have. But, it was a tie game also with 16 minutes left in the second half. And we had the game right where we wanted to, and then those guys just kind of took over down the stretch. But we're probably, they're 11-21, and that's with the guy that went 6 of 6 against us the first game, going 1 for 4. So we obviously did a poor job on those other 2.
What was the spark there at the start of the second half for you guys?
I thought we got the ball. We got the ball where we wanted it, and the 3 points they made, wasn't that off an offensive rebound or something? That we actually defended the first shot really well. So I thought we did some good things in that time. I thought we got out and we ran, even though we didn't convert. I don't know how many dipsy-do layups we missed and all those things, but I thought we did. I thought we looked like a team that was the aggressor to start the second half, and we get it tied, and then they go up 4, and then we come back and get it tied. It was like we never had a chance to play with the lead. I don't think we ever took the lead, and I'm not saying that would have made a big difference by any stretch, but it would have been nice to see if there was a little bit more game pressure on
them. Did you see any maybe small steps in the right direction from your guys today?
As far as what, Ben?
I mean, just as far as like maybe finally kind of turning the season around a little bit, kind of righting the ship type of thing.
Turning the season around is a little bit of a stretch, but I think that I thought I saw some things offensively where some guys did some good things, but we're looking at it wrong. I mean, I hate to say that. If guys put up big numbers offensively and you give up 91 on the road, you're going to get your butt beat every time. So, we got to have guys put up numbers offensively, but the biggest thing is you got to guard the other team, and we didn't guard. Once again, I don't, and I'll look at it, but I doubt I chart it. But I don't know how many times I scored in the last 6 seconds of the shot clock. It seems like to me that basket grows when other teams shoot it in that period of time, and we got to be able to finish possessions. But I saw some things from some individuals that you would say that's positive. I mean, that those are steps in the right direction offensively. I'll be candid with you. I didn't see much defensively that I would consider very positive out there.
Hey, Coach, the next 4 games, you're home, Oklahoma State, Iowa State, then you go to Iowa State and Kansas State. The next few weeks, how important is this stretch for you guys?
Well, Shay, they're all important, and they all add up the same at the end. But I think to your point and kind of what maybe Benton was asking a second ago, of course, not being a mind reader, Benton, but there's an opportunity, playing at home the next 2 games to get some momentum, so we got to look at that as an opportunity and certainly want to make the most of that. I actually thought I don't know how my staff felt. I think they feel the same way. But that was about as, I think, locked in, as prepared as I thought our guys were going into a game with the mindsets, and then we go jack around and can't finish a play early, and we play from behind. But it wasn't from a collective mindset or anything like that. It was just poor play or just focus, concentration, maybe on easy shots. But I think that, when we talked about this afterwards, the thing about it is Oklahoma State's already beat us once. They're plenty good enough to beat us twice if we don't play. And we're going to have to play well in order to beat them. So we got to let this one go. And we got 48 hours to get right, and we got to let it go and have a really good week, which we still have an opportunity to do.
Hey, Coach. Oh, sorry. Keep going.
Oh, hey, Bill, I was just going to ask, no guarantees yet with the polls going to come out, but possibility you guys aren't ranked next week. Can you put into perspective being ranked for 12 straight years, 231 weeks, if that does end, just put into perspective what a streak like that is?
Jesse, I hadn't really thought about it like that, but you're right. We won't be ranked next week. So, and nor do we deserve to be ranked next week. Now we got a chance to get back in there if we start doing some consecutive things well, but it's a pretty remarkable streak. I think that may be the most all time, if I'm not mistaken. Is that true?
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah. So
Correct.
So it's a great accomplishment, even though it doesn't mean anything now. But it's a great accomplishment to have good enough players, and so many players have made so many sacrifices over the years during the good and the bad runs. The guys were always able to minimize the negative and maximize the positive. And so that's what's kind of frustrating with this. We haven't been able to do that with this group consistently at all. So, but yeah, it's a great deal. It's sad it's going to come to an end, and those sorts of things. But all we can do is hopefully play well enough to start another one.
Were there some things you were able to see from Jalen today that you liked?
Offensively, yeah. I didn't think anybody guarded, so let's not get too giddy about anybody playing well. Nobody guarded. So and that includes Jalen, Marcus, Ochai, David, Christian, Tristan. It doesn't make any difference. Nobody guarded. But I do think that offensively he did some nice things, and of course drove the ball and he was on the glass. He was obviously our best rebounder today. So that's a big time positive from that standpoint.
Did you guys try to do some things to get him more aggressive, get the ball in his? You looked like he initiated some stuff a little more. Maybe anything to try to get him going.
We maybe a little bit, but the bottom line is that's how he was playing whenever he was playing well offensively. So we didn't really change a lot. We just tried to get back to what we were supposed to be doing all along. And I thought he was more aggressive offensively, which was good. He got 4 assists, which is good. Had a couple bad turnovers when we got panicked up. Instead of down 6 or 8. Instead of maybe making sure we get a good possession, we sometimes think there's a 6 or 8 point play out there and get a little bit overly aggressive when the numbers aren't in our favor. But I did think he did some really good things offensively, and hopefully that'll give him some confidence. But I mean, it's hard for me to get too excited when you give up 91 points on, to a team that the first time we played them, if I'm not mistaken, I could be wrong, gave up around 60. So we've obviously dropped off defensively since then.
Hey, Coach, you've talked about your losses and how, would have been hard for a lot of teams to beat the teams you lost to on those days. And this is another one that I think nobody would call this a bad loss. But is there a point where something like that kind of talk of your losses rings hollow? Does that mean anything, or can it help you guys in any way, or are you past that point?
Can it help us that we played? It would have been a hard game to win regardless, even if we played really well.
Yeah, that they're not bad losses, right?
Yeah. Well, I actually have told our guys, the thing about it is we played a monster schedule, and it's always hard, winning away from home more so than it is at home, even though, in this particular year, winning at home and on the road is more challenging because of the circumstances with the energy in the building and things like that. But I don't know that I can say that I would take much out of it. That would be positive. I would say that there's a lot of teams that have played our schedule that are ranked in the top 20 that would have our record if they'd have played our schedule. And I think we're 12-7 now. Is that right, Chris? But I don't really look at it that way. I would look at it that way more so if we put ourselves in a position to win the game, we just didn't get it done. That very easily could have been a game today that we put ourselves in a position to win it and just didn't get it done. And certainly we didn't even put ourselves in a position. So there won't be much taken out of this from a guys, it's a good loss type thing. I don't feel that at all.
Hey, Coach, I think someone already talked about her, but, you had some miscues in the first half. And I think you kind of touched on if you got the lead, it would have been nice to, play it in front of some, play from behind. Just what were your thoughts if maybe a couple of those didn't happen, you get the lead in the second half?
Yeah, I mean, we had opportunities to take the lead multiple times in the second half, if I'm not mistaken, and miss free throws or whatever it was. But the game was not lost in the first 4 minutes of the game, but the game put us in a situation where we had to extend so much energy, and our bench was not really probably giving us much, and so we had to play starters a long time, and so it put extra pressure on them to deliver, and then legs become a factor down the stretch and things like that. It wasn't lost in the first 4 minutes, but it put us in a position where we had to be more perfect than what we were.
Sure.
But I did think our guys battled back and did some really good things. Different times, our defensive pressure got good the second half to start, ran through a couple of passes. It just amazes me how many loose balls we don't get that lead to baskets for the opposing team. Just amazes me. And I think that was a big deal today too. I mean, but there were some good things. I'm not leaving out of here being negative at all. It's just disappointing because defense should travel, and it hasn't been.
Two quick ones for you. First, did you get an explanation on the technical foul?
No, I deserved a technical. I wasn't very happy with the officiating the whole game at all. But that didn't have anything to do with the outcome. But I thought there was inconsistency all across the board. And yeah, I deserved it. I deserved a technical. To be honest with you, the technical was over a call that happened about 5 minutes earlier. So that was what that was over. But no, it was fine that he gave me that. And trust me, I felt like I deserved it. I probably could have got another one today. I was pretty short fused with those guys today. I didn't think it was near as consistent as what I think maybe we should have had, even though the consistency, we got some favorable calls out of that as well.
And then just a matchup thing with Tyon, or was there another reason he didn't?
No. Tyon didn't practice yesterday. He didn't practice. He hurt his ankle in the first 1 minute of practice yesterday and wasn't able to return. So it didn't have anything to do with matchups. It had everything to do with health.
All right. Thank you, Coach.
All right, guys.
Thanks, Coach.